everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Success Series. Today's topic will be surrounding sharing from the right places, sharing from the wrong places, and how we can awaken the light of sharing and our desire to share with others in our lives. I think often, and I always like to go to the example of a grandmother who's made a spread of food and she wants to cook for you and she's so excited about it and you're completely full, right? You have no appetite whatsoever, but she says, please eat my food. I made this for you. I made your favorite this. I made your favorite that. Although if you look at it on the surface level, she's sharing with you, right? Because she prepared all this food, she cooked it, it's laid out for you. All you're doing is eating it, you're consuming, you're receiving, but you have no desire to do so, right? You can actually be the sharer in that instance. By you taking the food and allowing her to share with you, you are in fact sharing with her, right? Because her desire to share, although maybe partially is to, give to you and share with you, it's also to receive, right? She wants the energy and the light that she'll get from providing for you, from sharing with you. And so it's always important to look at scenarios that might look obviously like a sharing and receiving scenario and realizing that oftentimes they can be flipped. I like to look at relationships, right? When you're in a relationship with somebody, oftentimes one person wants to give to the other. And although sometimes it comes from a genuine place of sharing, a lot of the times there can be this expectation. Hey, I bought you flowers, I made you dinner, why didn't you do this for me? Or I give you everything, you give me nothing, right? Those words are conditional. It's basically saying we're in a relationship and I want your energy, and so I'm going to give to you so that I can receive your energy. In that scenario, that isn't sharing, although the term used for it would be sharing, there is nothing sharing about it at all. It's purely taking mode. I also find it funny that when we're, looking at a conversation, right? And, let's say it's a group of people and typically, there's individuals who feel this way, the need to share, right? It's like, I have a desperate need to share, right? We're saying share. They are not sharing, they are taking. So the next time, and I often joke about this with my family, it's like, hey, I have something that I want to take. That should really be what's said instead of, I have something that I want to share, because there's no sharing that's happening there. So I think when we look at our own lives, it's super important to ask, again, going back to desire, what is the desire? Is the desire to share wisdom, share consciousness because you want to inspire people? Or is it, I want to share so that I can fill a void within me. I want to share so that I can feel important. I want to share so that people will listen to me. Even in my practice of sharing and spirituality, I've learned that although it's hard to always be in a mode of sharing, when I feel that the desire is not pure, the desire is coming from a place of taking, then I'll oftentimes keep quiet. I won't overshare. I'll limit what I will share. And this happens when I'm giving an event. And so sometimes I'll, be a bit more reserved, or sometimes I won't do the event at all. And I think that for any person that's teaching or that's, speaking out there, wanting to inspire other people, if your desire, if at any point, and oftentimes it starts pure and turns out not to be pure, is more for yourself than for others, eventually it's all going to crumble. So you might have a little traction to begin with, people might be inspired by you, but at some point the flame of the light of the creator will dissipate and all the people will see are empty words. You might be saying spiritual concepts, spiritual teachings, but the light that comes with it and the light that comes from those words and teachings will disappear, and so therefore the wisdom will be left empty. It might garner views, it might attract people, but there's nothing and no substance behind it. And so now that we've spoken about sharing from the right place and from the wrong place, let's talk about how we get there. For those of you that know Karen, my grandmother and the co-founder of the Kabbalah Center, a friend was sharing with me that there was a student many years ago who had a child that was struggling with addictions to drugs, and they, tried everything. They tried rehab, they tried praying for him, and they were basically at a point of desperation. And so they asked Karen, Karen, what can I do? How can I help him? How can I get him out of this? And Karen's words, as she always often shared, where there isn't anything that you can do, you can't change him, you can't change his reality, you can just give him love and support and show him that you're there for him. And so this teaching, although practical and hard to really practice, can be transferred to any area of life. When I think of my own life and, I want to share with those around me, I want to inspire the generation that's similar to age in me, they oftentimes aren't very receptive to it, right? They're closed in their ways. And so I get frustrated because I say, it's working for me in my own life. I have more blessings. I have more fulfillment. I have more happiness that didn't exist before. And I have no other desire than to share that with you, than for you to also experience those same blessings. But there isn't an opening, there isn't a receptivity to it. And so I'm left feeling frustrated and they're not able to grow from the situation. What I can do in this reality, one thing for certain is I can't change them. I can't get them to do things that they're not doing. I can't get them to get excited about the spiritual tools. But if I deepen my own connection and I take the next level of my spiritual growth, they will see that, they will witness it, and be inspired to do it on themselves. And so if you want to inspire those around you, if you want to share wisdom with others and they're not receptive to it, do not try to change them, because that never will work. Try to practice those things on a deeper level yourself, embellish it, take the next level in your own personal spiritual growth. By doing that, you're taking the light that's surrounding you and you're surrounding those that are around you and surrounding the world. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Success Series. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, if there are some topics you'd want us to explore, please share it with us at the Success Series on both YouTube and Instagram.